From the news team that's covering the Carolinas, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
The jury is set in the trial of CMPD officer Randall Carrick. Good evening, I'm Nicole Monshine.
And I'm Jade Lawson. Both sides have agreed on the 12 people who will sit in on the jury for the case that has gained national attention. Opening statements are now set to begin Monday morning at 9:30. CMPD officer Randall West Carrick is charged with voluntary manslaughter and the shooting death of Jonathan Farrell. The 12 jurors chosen are expected to be in court for at least the next 6 weeks.
Even at the conclusion of the trial, after closing evidence, closing arguments, they're not going to be released immediately. They may still be sequestered until a certain point of where both sides feel comfortable that everyone's going to have a chance to deliberate and reach a verdict.
4 alternates include 3 women and 1 man. All 4 are white. Attorneys are scheduled to argue several motions in court tomorrow. Today, more than 24 college students were at the courthouse in support of Farrell and his family. The group is studying racial and social injustice and has been discussing the case. Today, they experienced the courtroom firsthand, standing behind Farrell's family.
In the end of the day, we're all struggling, against all this injustice, against all the things that has been placed upon us. And, the more we stick together, the more united we are, the more say we have.
The group included students of all races. All of them say they're interested in continuing to study social justice. We've been covering this case from the beginning. Stay with Channel 9 for continued coverage of the Carrick trial.
A Rock Hill woman could pay a civil fine after police say she buried her newborn baby in her backyard. Tara Ostrowski is charged with unlawful conduct toward a child. She's currently behind bars without bond. Authorities are now debating whether she will have to pay a fine. The coroner ruled the baby's death a homicide, but police don't know exactly what caused it.
She had been trying to conceal her pregnancy from her family, and then at that point she had gotten scared.
They say Ostrowski admitted to smoking meth and taking hydrocodone during her pregnancy. Both were found in the child's system. Now, a man in Iredell County is behind bars tonight after police say he tattooed 2 12-year-old girls. Trevor Carson is charged with tattooing without a license and tattooing someone under the age of 18. Carson is facing a $2,000 bond. He will go before a judge next month.
The North Carolina General Assembly has voted to pass a bill allowing prosecutors to carry concealed guns in court. The bill now awaits Governor Pat McCrory's signature. Supporters are saying the bill will help improve security in courts. Governor McCrory could sign the bill by the end of this week.
Now, a different bill also sits on the governor's desk tonight. This one could bring big changes to North Carolina's executions. This bill would let someone other than the doctor be present for an execution. It also allows the state to find new drugs without disclosing which companies make the drugs.
The North Carolina Department of Transportation has a new leader tonight. Tony Tata announced his resignation Tuesday, effective immediately. Many were shocked about his sudden resignation, but wouldn't speculate why it came so abruptly. Tata says this was a personal decision.
Spend time with family, spend time with the new book.
There's no more to it, is that what you're saying?
No, there's no more to it.
Chief Deputy Secretary Nick Tennyson will serve as acting transportation secretary of the NCDOT until a permanent replacement is found. Officials said it's unlikely a change in leadership will impact the controversial toll plan on I-77.
Now, Mecklenburg Police will hold their first safety session specifically focused on our churches. This comes nearly a month after 9 people were gunned down in a Charleston church. Police say churches need to know that they can still have rules in place while still having a welcoming environment.
It's okay to watch people. It's okay to say, we don't want you to bring backpacks. We don't want you to bring anything into our place of worship.
There will be 2 sessions tomorrow, one from 9 a.m. to noon and the other from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. It's at the Police Fire Training Academy on Shopton Road. You can find the link to register for the event inside the story at WSOCTV.com. Now, the man accused of killing 9 black people inside the Charleston church will be in court on Friday to answer to federal charges. Last week, the U.S. General Attorney announced 33 federal charges against Dylan Roof, including hate crime charges. Loretta Lynch says Roof targeted the church and its parishioners based on their race.
And that murder case spurred debate over race and the Confederate flag on South Carolina State House grounds. Now lawmakers say state officials didn't use common sense over one of those protests. On July 18th, the KKK and the new Black Panther Party rallied at the South Carolina State House. And at the same time, yesterday, legislators asked those responsible why they let both groups protest on the same day. 5 people were arrested and 7 were taken to the hospital.
And now the debate over the Confederate flag is spreading across social media. One Shelby man came home yesterday to find all 3 of his Confederate flags missing, and he wonders if a new online protest is to blame.
Just beware if you've got a flag hanging out somewhere, make sure you put some cameras up because there's some idiots out there taking them down.
Todd Mode wonders if his theft is a part of an ongoing trend that's occurring nationally, gaining notoriety from social media. It's called the hashtag #NoFlyingChallenge. This is a video of someone doing the challenge uploaded on the app Vine. They see a Confederate flag on someone's property and film themselves removing it. They then upload it on social media.
What really hurts most is somebody coming in on their property.
The trend is a form of protest against the display of the Confederate flag, which remains a controversial topic following the shooting at an African-American church in Charleston last month. Police warn that this challenge is illegal. Thieves can face misdemeanor larceny charges with possible trespassing charges, depending on if the homeowners have the sign or if they have been warned prior. This debate is ongoing over the meaning of the flag.
Freedom of America is supposed to be, as much as freedom of speech, we're supposed to be able to defend and believe in and honor what we want to honor.
Now Mode says he just hopes that authorities can catch those responsible and return his stolen flags.
Members of a local organization took a moment of prayer before heading to D.C. Staff and volunteers of the Exodus Foundation are pushing to legally reform the juvenile justice system for African American youth. 43-year-old Sebastian Goodson, now an advocate for the program, says he was incarcerated at the age of 16 on multiple counts, including armed robbery, forcing him to grow up in what he described as a dangerous situation.
Saying this is a dangerous place. I don't wish that on no man or woman to go in and experience what I experienced coming up through that system.
Now the group is in D.C. to push legislation to protect minors from being held in adult prisons.
3 North Carolina colleges are ranked among the best in the nation. Forbes magazine released the higher education rankings for 2015 today. Duke, Davidson, and UNC Chapel Hill all received top marks from the Finance magazine. Duke was ranked 22nd, Davidson College 31st, and UNC Chapel Hill was ranked 49th. Now officials at UNC Chapel Hill are working to try to cut down on underage drinking. This effort comes after a fatal crash on I-85. Officials say the 20-year-old driver had been drinking at 2 bars before the collision. They say the effort now is even more important.
North Carolina leaders are launching a new effort to keep you safe on state roads. The Highway Patrol says there were nearly 1,300 fatalities on the state roads last year. More than 100,000 people were hurt. North Carolina Department of Transportation announced today they want to cut that in half by 2030. They plan focusing on key factors like speed, intersection safety, and impaired drivers.
Now, $2 gas could be a reality again in the near future. Analysts say the world still has way too much oil. This is causing oil prices to plummet down before $47 a barrel. This means come December, stations could start selling gas at around just $2 a gallon.
And Channel 9 has learned Charlotte will host the 2017 NBA All-Star Game. The game will bring in millions and some major attention to our city.
Buzz City just got a lot busier as the news was released on Monday afternoon from a source to Channel 9 that sparked the attention of Hornets fans, NBA lovers, and the city of Charlotte.
I feel like it's needed. Charlotte is growing and it's time.
The Hornets and the Charlotte Sports Foundation submitted a bid back in 2014. However, Charlotte has made several upgrades in these last few years. With approximately $34 million in renovations for the Time Warner Cable Arena, Adam Silver said it would be an attractive venue for the event.
We want to spread the wealth throughout the community.
TV does a pretty good job with showing different things around the city, when they have stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely, it would. I certainly would show people what Charlotte really has to offer.
Michael all the way, lays it in.
Buzz City first hosted the NBA All-Star Game back in 1991 at the Charlotte Coliseum. This event is set to bring in millions of dollars in revenue, along with promoting growth towards the city of Charlotte.
And now the Charlotte Observer says the city needs $6 million in support. A proposal to fund the project will be voted on next Monday. You can see the full finance breakdown on WSOCTV.com. High school football practice are already heating up. One standout told us why even he is surprised by his own moves.
Plus, the first woman coach in the NFL, where she got her start in the game.
Our Big 22 previews roll on with one of last year's finalists, Freedom running back B.J. Emmons. B.J.'s family was so serious about the competition, they made flyers to encourage people to vote for him. On the field, Emmons is hard to miss. He set Burke County on fire last season, rushing for 2,348 yards and 38 touchdowns, and that's not including 2 games he had to sit out. He scored 6 times on 3 separate occasions, and this was with defenses preparing to stop him all week in practice. Emmons even surprises himself sometimes on the football field.
The ability that I have to do things is something that I thought I'd never be able to do. Like busting out the plays and making the moves that I make is something that you never see coming.
And you heard me mention those 2 games he missed. Emmons made a mistake, a big one, but it came at just the right time, and he learned an important lesson in how he can't wait to get back on the field. The Big 22 for the 2015 season have been selected. The top picks range from South Charlotte all the way up to Davidson. As always, the best player of the top 22 will be selected in early November. To see if your school or player made the cut this year, just go to WSOCTV.com. It'll be located under the Sports tab labeled Big 22. Trouble for a Panthers player. Wide receiver Stephen Hill was cited for drug paraphernalia earlier yesterday after a traffic stop in North Charlotte. Police records show he was given 2 misdemeanors, possession of marijuana and failure to wear a seatbelt. Hill signed with the Panthers last September. The Panthers began training camp today at Wofford College and have not made a statement regarding Hill's incident. On to baseball, Micah Johnson is one of the reasons the Charlotte Knights are in the thick of the South Division race. He's hitting .330 with 7 home runs and 26 stolen bases. He could get called up to the White Sox any day. Last season, though, Johnson suffered a hamstring injury and missed his chance at a September call-up. Determined not to let it happen again, Johnson changed his off-season routine, incorporating a less than traditional but highly beneficial workout for a professional baseball player, yoga.
I wanted to come in prepared and get flexible. I do a lot of weightlifting in the off-season, so I was like, I got to balance it out with flexibility because towards the end of the season, you end up having some wear and tear.
During the season, he comes here to Air Charlotte. It's aerial yoga that incorporates Pilates and interval strength work. According to owner Carrie Flanagan, who teaches the classes, that was part of the appeal for Johnson. Well, NASCAR penalized premium sports because of unattached weight that fell off a car during practice in Indianapolis last week. The penalty was issued last Wednesday to Tommy Hill. NASCAR reports crew chief Scott Eagleston was fined $25,000. And what's even worse, he and another car chief have been suspended for the Sprint Cup and placed on probation until the end of the year. Talk about tough love. The Arizona Cardinals are off to training camp, but this time a woman will stand alongside the field with the rest of the coaching staff. The NFL will introduce the first female coach, Jen Welter, who was a training camp coaching intern. Cardinals coach Bruce Arians referred to her as a trailblazer during a press conference. He says nothing less is expected of her. Cardinals president and the NFL reported to ESPN on their excitement and appreciation of breaking down the gender barrier. Well, thanks for letting us join you, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
We enjoyed our summer with you in the Queen City.